Well, T.I. recently, a clip from his podcast that came out recently, but it was from last year. He admitted to snitching on his dead cousin to get out of a gun charge.
Motherfucker dead, shit. What, you gonna go to jail for a dead motherfucker?
That's what I said.
There's a lot of niggas that won't go to jail for a breathing, living motherfucker. The nigga dead.
That's what I said. You know, I interviewed Birdman's half-brother, Terrence Gangster Williams.
Right.
And he essentially did the same thing. He was given like life plus 30 or something, some heinous amount of time. And at one point he cooperated against his friends who had killed a bunch of people, but they were dead at the time.
Right.
So he allowed them, allowed the authorities to close a bunch of cold cases and so forth. And I think he got his time somewhat reduced for it. A lot of people still called him a snitch and so forth. And he came on and said, well, what's T.I. doing? T.I. is doing the same thing I did.
Right.
Man, the detective asked me the question you had, like when I first got in the game, right? This man got cold cases. This man got like 100 bodies. He want me to confess to it, help out to close the case because, when they close those homicides, it helps them too. It makes them look good because they close the case. But in my mind, I'm like, man, no, I'm not doing that because some of these people that's been killed, they got family that's killers. They got people, that I know there'd be a retaliation behind this stuff. And I didn't do that. Now, I understand you want to further your career. And I was trying to help myself too. But I was like, nah, man, we picked certain ones, wrote the letter to the Fed. Then my co-defendant was to brag about homicides. And the Fed was like, listen, man, you gave up this bull crap. Oh, and I also gave him some murders with Sterling and Dooney. So some of my people that I'm at odds with now, even BG was upset about it too. Cause they was like, man, you telling on the dead. I didn't look at it like at the time. I was like, well, this is a way I can get up out of prison. I'm not testifying on no one. I'm gonna give them this here. They're gonna cut my time. Cool, but I understand, I respect it that telling is telling.
So what's the...
Listen, people that live by the code of the streets, smarten the fuck up. You know what I mean? Because the streets, those same streets that you protected a code will kill you.
Yeah.
So, knock it off.
You know what the most interesting thing about it is that the people who stick to the code, who keep their mouth shut, who don't snitch, who do their 20, 30 years, they come out. You know what prize they get?
Nothing.
When they get out?
Nothing.
Exactly. Couple of high fives.
You real, nigga.
You real.
Right.
There is
time was real.
Yeah. And let me tell you, all these drug kingpins who made a bunch of money when they were out, I've interviewed most of the big ones. And the story's always the same. All the money they stashed, all the property they put in other people's names, by the time they get out, all that's gone. Wow. The money's been spent. The property is in someone else's name, but they're not going to sign it back over to you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And yeah, in their neighborhood, they're considered, somewhat heroes and so forth, but they're usually not well off financially.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of times I pay them for their interviews and so forth, and you could tell that they actually appreciate the money. They're not like multimillionaires where it's like, I don't give a shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's no prize at the end.
Yeah.
There isn't. You've given up all this time. You come out fucked up. You don't know what a iPhone does. You don't know what the internet is.
Right.
I remember I interviewed this one girl who killed. Her name was Loca D. She was the first minor in America to get life with no parole. She killed 2 Latin kings.
Damn.
And she says that when she got home, she had to put bars on her window in her apartment to just go to sleep. Because she's just so used to living in a cell that she couldn't get used to not being in one.
Wow.
But like I said, I'm working 2 jobs and I still don't got it right. I still don't. I have bars on my window because I still need to feel like I'm in prison sometimes. I wake up in the middle of the night and realize, oh my God, I'm in a real bed. Like I can get up. Sometimes I wake up and look around and wait for the officer gonna do a walkthrough. so I can ask them, can I go to the bathroom?
That's sad.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's some ill shit. I
Right.
mean, you come out with a bunch of felonies on your record. You're going to have a hard time getting an apartment. You're going to have a hard time getting a job.
Right.
You pretty much have forever punishments. And, most people you come out are probably dead or in jail also.
Right.
Your mom is probably gone by that time if you've done 30, 40 years. Yeah, man, this whole rule of the streets thing, I've never co-signed it. I've always thought, it's, I don't know, man, it's almost selfish in a way. A lot of times these guys have kids
Right.
who end up growing up without them. Sometimes these kids end up in the same prison system that they do. Blue Boy, him and his son, I think were locked up together, both of them for murder. Like it's some fucked up shit.
I recently performed in Indianapolis. And listen, I got love for the streets. The streets show me love. Hardcore niggas, I grew up in the projects, the ghetto. I fucks with you. That's what they tell me. Hey, you're my nigga, you my favorite comedian. I fucks with you. And I love that. But sometimes the streets get on my fucking nerves. Like, there was this girl who came in 15 deep, celebrating, so they already fucked up on the alcohol. She's wearing shades in a fucking dark comedy club. Just ignorant, belligerent. I gotta keep battling with this bitch. And I always say the thing about drunk motherfuckers, usually people that want to heckle, you hit them with 2-3 insults, they shut the fuck up. But when somebody is so fucked up with alcohol and drunk, they become like suicide bombers. They're willing to die. You can't shut them up. You can't. So she was a suicide bomber. So I'm going back and forth with this bitch. And at one point, the show becomes so disruptive that it's not even fun anymore. It's not even a show anymore. It throws the timing off. Everything is just fucked. So normally I do like an hour 15, maybe an hour 20. The most I'm required to do on contract, on paper, is 45. A headliner does 45 to an hour. Anything more is on you. So I looked at the clock and I'm at like at 50, 55. I said, yo, I'm done. Because it wasn't even a show anymore. So then the same motherfucker come up to me after the show or stand up in the middle of the show. Welcome to my city. Welcome to the city. I run the city. You niggas make me sick. Because it's just like, and I talked about this, it's like Chris Rock's great joke, I love black people. I hate niggas. Niggas will rob you and then come up to you next day and go, heard you got robbed. Come up to me after the show, I fucks with you, let me get a picture with you.
Wait, the same girl that ruined your show wanted to get a picture
with me. Like you want me to embrace you? Bitch, you disrupted the fucking show.
So what'd you do?
I took the picture. I took the picture.
You punked out.
But no, not that I punked out. But I wasn't happy about it. Usually when I take a picture, I boom, 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 I smile.
Grudging picture.
It was a straight. So then I set this post out and I just went, look, I think it's so sad that some of my people are in a mentality of my city. You'll never leave your city. You'll never go outside your block. You'll never go outside of your radius. All you know is your city. And it's like, dude, there's a big, beautiful world out there. And with that mentality comes a behavior. And with that behavior, you put yourself in a box. And I'm just going, dude, I've been to Europe. I've been to Helsinki, Finland. I've been to Africa. I've been on a safari. The Middle East, Abu Dhabi, Dubai. Why would you not want to go past your city? Why would you not want to see how beautiful this world is and how much there is to be, to embrace? This world offers you a lot. Get out of that mentality. Get out of your fucking block. And just, I love the streets, but ghetto niggas, man, grow up. Grow the fuck up.